I would like to welcome you all to our panel, Mental Health in the NFT Community. I guess I'll just first start off by introducing myself. My name is Bursky. I go by All Around Artsy. Mental health is my greatest passion as a person and artist. All of my art is inspired by mental health. And in the past 2 years, I have dropped and sold around 2,500 NFTs, all inspired by mental health. And one of my projects donated to mental health charities. And before that, I was running my film production company full time. So yeah, filmmaker, artist, mental health. That's me. Now I'm going to introduce Kate. Kate Rosenblatt, MA, LPC, LMHC, is a psychotherapist and researcher with over a decade of mental health care industry experience across hospitals, behavioral healthcare systems, and mental health tech startups like Talkspace. Kate joined Talkspace when they were a small startup in New York City, and she worked with stakeholders to enhance the clinical operations and strategy during the COVID-19 pandemic, which helped take Talkspace from a startup through to its IPO in 2021. Currently, Kate is exploring how Web3 is impacting our mental health and how we can use Web3 to increase access to mental health care. So yay, thank you for being here. And we have Cash, yay! Cash is a 34-year-old digital marketing expert and entrepreneur. He is best known for his innovative content development and SEO strategies. Before entering digital marketing, Cash was a founding member of The Cab, a pop rock band signed to Fueled by Ramen Atlantic Records. Now as the owner of the Not Okay Bears and We Bearish, Cash has made a name for himself by leveraging his creativity and technical know-how to help businesses thrive online while continuing to influence his autism acceptance community work. Yay. We have DP. So DP is a disabled U.S. Army combat veteran and medically retired federal air marshal who is now a business owner, investor, and educator. He founded Veterans Network Champions Club and advocates for mental health, veteran disability education, and bringing the conversation of Web3 to the veterans and first responder community. His service dog, Legend, is named after Navy SEAL Chris Kyle. Yay! So welcome, DP, and welcome, Legend. So cute. And now we have Jason. Jason is an accomplished author and the founder of Junior Storytellers, a company dedicated to helping children develop their imagination and creativity through engaging storytelling experiences. Jason is also a co-founder of the Seekers of the Eternal digital art project. Seekers of the Eternal is a project dedicated to supporting mental health and well-being of its community and helping members reach their highest potential. So yeah, so this is our awesome panel, a very diverse assortment of perspectives, so I'm really excited to dive in to this conversation with them. So the first thing I would like to ask all of you is, can you share with us what you're up to in the NFT space and how it connects to mental health? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me okay? Awesome, okay. So good to be here with you all, and thank you everyone for joining us. And I'd say, as a therapist who's been involved in Web3 for the last few years, there are two main things that I am kind of working on in the general sort of Web3 space. And first is I'm developing some research to sort of understand how Web3 is impacting our mental health. I don't know about you all, but I've definitely experienced the sort of ups and downs being in Web3, so feeling things like anger and fear and frustration when I've been scammed or going through the sort of volatile crypto market. But then I've also felt such joy and connection in meeting other like-minded people who I'm actually meeting in person here at NFT.NYC for the first time. So I started kind of thinking, if I'm experiencing all of these mental health, like this range of sort of like mental health, like symptoms and emotions, are other people also, is their mental health being impacted in some capacity by different aspects of Web3. So I am creating a research study to sort of gather people's stories, understand if there's kind of any themes, and then kind of investigate from there. So you can follow me on Twitter to sort of stay in the loop about that. And then I'd say quickly, the second thing I'm sort of exploring is, can we sort of leverage different aspects of Web3 to either increase access to evidence-based mental health care professionals, and can we sort of use different aspects of Web3 to sort of enhance our own mental health literacy. So asking questions about, like, does therapy in the metaverse work? Would peer support groups work, knowing that we have such a huge supply and demand sort of issue right now, with more people looking for mental health care than there are actual mental health care providers? So looking to sort of explore how we can kind of solve for that in the future. So I've been talking to some different institutions and others about this. I'm actually looking for funding and some aligned partners. So if you are a philanthropist or investor, or you just like sort of mental health and Web3 and want to solve for some future challenges, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter as well. I'll stop there.
How do you follow that? And why am I so bassy? Hi, my name's Cash. First and foremost, autism acceptance. I don't think it's said enough out loud. It affects one in about 40, 45 people, especially here in America. I know there's some people overseas, but autism acceptance. If those words resonate with you, then you've been affected in some way uniquely and have seen life in a different light. So now the Web3 thing, right? I got here on accident as a third founder with my friend over here, Tim. What's up, Tim? Love the hat. We bearish. We took the financial ailment out of it, right? Like this space became very money hungry or something. And I've always had the approach, like, if you want money, go get a job, go work for it, pay your bills. This is a place to be artistic, express yourself, but also align yourself with like-minded individuals. And I think that's like power of the people, as they say, right? It's very important to align yourself. I'm from Las Vegas, right? Very fast, Sin City, this and that. I'm never gonna find 20 people that want to hang out with me and talk about helping kids and autistic children, right? It's just never going to happen. But in Web3, turn on Discord, go to a token-gated server with a bunch of like-minded, not okay bears, and now we're kicking ass for autism. So how we bridge that gap is by staying community-focused, and I think a lot of people who entered this space thought they were starting businesses, and because I come from the community standpoint, not the individualist, right? And that's just the wrong approach. If you're in it for financial gain, then you're immediately not loving the people in front of you that are trusting you with their few dollars to build something and bring enjoyment to their life. So whether we're having a fight party or an in real life event, we've launched tokenomics. It's an internal token, not liquid back. So raffles coming. I think Tim's filming something that the community's watching. You guys are gonna get your raffles, UFC cards, events. I don't give a shit. Stop bugging me, right? The Web3 experience will come, but like at the end of the day, we just care about helping children. And I think I'll say it for the first time out loud. Our goal by the end of this year will be opening a physical building in Las Vegas. If we do it correctly, it will be government backed and funded through our nonprofit. It will be called We Bearish, and it will be, in my opinion, the first autism-friendly children's play center with sensory rooms and catering to the needs of. We live in Las Vegas, so 3 million people. We'll start the foundation and the base work for that there, but create the model so hopefully motivate someone to do a little bit more, and parents should feel okay in public, and they should have a safe space for their kids to hang and jump on the couch. We don't give a shit. And I'll probably stop with that.
Well, my name is DP, and I do not have a project. I'm a veteran, and I have some disabilities, as you can see. And part of the reason of what the things I'm doing in this space is really to normalize the fact that we're all experiencing human experiences. When you see me in a service dog and you say you served, you say, thank you for your service. You must have had it hard. You experienced some things. But the fact is that the human experience doesn't matter for geography or the uniform that you wear. So normalizing the conversation of mental health, of saying in the NFT space where it's so fast, it feels like combat. Because at every single second, things are going on. When you're deployed and you're in a combat situation, what you deal with is just nonstop battle fatigue. In the NFT space, similarities happen. So being able to talk about these things and normalize the fact that I'm no different than you or you or you, we all need help. Because the whole thing is, oh no, DP, you need the help more. You go get that help. No, we need that help. Because before I was able to talk to a specialist, someone had to come to my level of darkness and say, hey, I'll sit with you. I understand where you're at. That's the reality. We all can deal with depression. We all can have isolation, but the power of NFTs and Web3 is that we don't feel detached. Everybody can experience depression, but at the depths of that, when detachment shows up, that's when statistics start to happen, because no one's going to notice. You won't notice if I don't show up, but when I get a GM in the Discord and you tag me and you see me, I feel connected again. So my whole point of being in the space is to bring veterans into the space to say, hey, we still have utility. We can still talk to others and share stories. We may not be the most technologically advanced people, but whether you're in combat or Web3, we're human beings experiencing a human experience. So that's the goal of what we're trying to do here. It's having these conversations. I'm honored to be able to share the stage with creators and people. I'm just a veteran that's been in the space for a while, got rugged a few times, and I brought my service dog with me because apparently that's the one connection that doesn't leave my side ever. But if anything, what we're doing through our organization, handles there, that's the Twitter handle, is basically just having conversations. Because sometimes we need to level set that. I don't want to help you want to do that. Well, guess what? Let's have a talk. Because if I can talk to you and you feel like, wait a second, we're the same, yes. We are the same. I just chose one route, you chose another. So that's the whole thing we want to do, bring veterans and first responders into the space. It is okay to ask for help, but we have to break the stigma by stepping on stage. And conversely then showing the world that, hey, we have things to offer. We were the 1%ers that said, I'll defend, regardless of your political affiliations. We stood up to do something. But we're still here, so don't thank us for our service, but let us be of service. We're still here, and as long as we have that connection, that we have validity, then we don't have those thoughts that may go into those dark places that some of us may have been to. So if I can say that and someone can resound to that, the fact here simply is this: your truth is enough. Whether it was domestic violence, whether it was PTSD, depression, combat, stateside, your truth is enough.
Thank you. Now that's a tough act to follow.
Right? No,
Right.
how do you do it? And he's got the
I just feel great sitting between you both. So thank you, all of us. So my name's Jason DeRocha. I'm an author and publisher of children's books. I spent 20 years in the corporate industry and had an incredible life. Traveled around the world, made lots of money, and it was helping people build their businesses. It was wonderful for a certain amount of time, and then that doesn't fill your cup anymore, and you need to do something more. And so when I was in Singapore on business, I was working with a group of children, and I would tell them stories. I'd make them up. And then when I flew back I'm from Toronto, Canada. When I flew home, the team out there called me and said, can you send us those stories that you used to tell the kids? They keep asking for them. And I said, well, I just make those up. And they said, well, you should publish those. So I thought to myself, during the pandemic, I called it the Plandemic. I use that as an opportunity to think, what could I do to fill my cup? I have two little girls. I have a 6-year-old and I have an 8-year-old. And if I think about them too hard, I start to cry. I don't know if anyone has kids, but as a dad, I'm super sentimental now, so I'll try not to think about them. But when I did think about them in that moment, I thought to myself, it's going to take a lot of courage for me to step off this path, this successful career, this all-American dream, to carve my own path and start anew. And I thought, well, what a great story to tell my kids. So during the pandemic or the Plandemic, I left and I pursued my work as an author and publisher. And I was also an early crypto investor. And so I was watching the space for some time. And I watched the NFT market, and I knew what was going on. I could see the cash grab. I could see the rug pull, because I've seen it in the corporate world. It's really easy to identify. So I waited. And then I thought to myself, well, let me partner with people who believe what I believe, and let's build something special. So I got an incredible artist named Chris Parks out of South Florida. And we said, we want genuine art by a genuine artist, and let's build it around something special. So he says, all right, well, these monkeys are really popular, but they don't really mean a lot. So let's bring Hanuman to the blockchain. So if anybody is familiar with Hanuman and Ramayana, He spent 20 years as a commercial artist studying this incredible ancient deity, and we brought him to the blockchain last week. 600 Hanuman are now on the blockchain. It's an exclusive limited art collection, but the project is about uplifting one another. It's about creating a space to help one another reach their highest potential.
Well, I'm just really honored to share the stage with all of you, so thank you for sharing that. I guess for me, so I'm an artist, and for me, when I'm creating art, it's like a form of therapy. You know, I think a lot of artists may resonate with that, but for me, I let my subconscious just like, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and so each NFT I put out is like that release of just that authentic, truthful experience, whatever it may be, whether it is sometimes very happy and sometimes, you know, darker. So for me, being a part of the NFT community is pushing myself to be true to whatever the experience is and putting it out through art. And through that process, sometimes a dialogue will emerge. And for me, that's super important, just to vocalize and to let myself be expressive so that other people feel the freedom to be expressive and to, you know, whatever they're going through, you're not alone. I'll be true, I'll put it out there, and I want you to know that if you're in that dark place or wherever you're at, there's a community, there's love, there's support. And so yeah, that's what's important for me, is to just be true, put it out there, and create some love. So yeah. So the next thing I would like to ask is, can you share some words of inspiration to the NFT community of, you know, how can we take care of our mental health in this Web3 world? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think if you're here for the last session right before us, they were kind of saying like we could spend a whole day talking about tips. I feel that as well, but I guess for sort of the sake of time, I'll say that if you take nothing else away from what I've shared today, it's that you don't have to wait for an emergency to talk to a therapist. I think there is still such a stigma around talking to a therapist or a psychiatrist, kind of thinking that maybe I have to be in this, you know, low rock bottom place in my life to reach out for support, but you really don't. You all, you know, deserve to take care of your mental health. You deserve support. There are people out there that really want to support you, and communities out there that definitely want to support you. And I'll say that's one thing I really love about Web3 is really the community, the inclusivity, the connectivity, and that's also super important to support our mental health, is, you know, feeling like you have a purpose, feeling like you are connected to people. So I would encourage you, you know, to, if you want, really say hi to other people who are in the room today. Introduce yourself after this talk, because we're all here because we're interested in mental health and Web3. And I will just say one last thing, which may sound a little like, I don't know, different for some people, but there is such a mind-body connection. I think when some people think about mental health, they think about it sort of from the neck up. But I guess one other last sort of offering, you know, on that kind of mind-body connection is that when it comes to mental health, I'd encourage you to like go get a physical with your doctor. And why I sort of recommend that, I talk with my patients about this a lot, but just that sometimes there are some symptoms that are more sort of like organic and physical in nature, but they could look like mental health symptoms. For example, like some thyroid conditions, you know, can, like, some of the symptoms can manifest as symptoms of depression, and even like people who need, you know, glasses or have like eye issues, you know, some of those symptoms could be symptoms of fatigue, which could look like other symptoms of depression or anxiety. So I would just offer, if you would like, if you're thinking about your mental health, also think about your physical health, and you might just want to rule out anything organic that could be going on that could be contributing to any mental health symptoms. There's a lot more, but I will definitely stop there.
No, great advice, right? I'll keep it short and simple. In my experience being in blockchain for like a decade, I'm gonna age myself right now. Pay your bills and take care of your family before you dive into this shit. It ain't that deep. Half this tech doesn't even work correctly. A lot of people that say that they're doing these incredible things, they're really not. Please take care of yourself and your family. It's more important than your aspirations, believe it or not. Like loving the people around you and the people in the present, much more important than this JPEG stuff. And attach yourself to people with causes. If they can't explain what they're doing for the next 3 to 5 years, run the hell away. You know, that's your cue. If you align yourself with your goals, or people align yourself with mental health experts, literally experts, licensed and shit, like you want to align yourself with people that matter, that are messing with this technology, cool. But some guy named Frodo that won't show his face and like everyone just walks around and calls him Frodo, don't give that guy your fucking money. Pardon my language, but stop that shit. Learn to know when you're riding some wave that's made up. Go back to your family, pay your bills, and align your morals with shit that matters in this space. And autism acceptance, and you know, it's okay to be not okay. Not okay bears. In the end, dog.
Professional athletes, leaders of worlds, all these people, military, we all get trained. The fact is, get help. It's okay to get help. It's okay to have a coach. It's okay to reach out to people. The power of NFT is simply this: control. I can't control anxiety. I can't control PTSD. I can't control my body. But in this space, I can show up however I want. And for veterans, that's a lot. So for all of us here, that means something. So you're not beneath getting help. You're not beneath a coach. You're not beneath getting support. If professional athletes can do it and have strength training coaches, mental health coaches, so can we. It's helped me. It's kept me alive. It's why I am here. It's why Legend is here. I encourage you all, seek out, speak up. Your truth is enough. That is the truth. Your truth is valid.
So 2 things. One, as an author, I'm inspired by Dr. Maya Angelou. I don't know if anyone's read her poems and stuff, but she just completely blows me away. And she said she has this incredible bar. It's super simple. She said, just do right. Right may not be expedient. It may not be profitable, but it will satisfy your soul, give you the kind of protection that bodyguards can't give you. Doesn't matter if it's in the NFT space or in the real world. Just do right. It's what I share with my daughter every day when she has a challenge. Second thing is, when you find that community that uplifts you and makes you want to be the best version of yourself, that is a currency in itself. We keep looking at NFTs and how can this be great? What can I flip this and when Lambo? All this foolish talk. The currency that I get is, you know, sitting up here with people like you and the lessons that I hear, and then I can implement them into my life tomorrow. I was having a challenging night once putting my daughter to bed, and I was supposed to get on a space and be really positive and happy, and I rushed through it, and she was upset, and I didn't feel good as a dad, and I went into my Discord, and somebody put this quote in there. One of my community members put this quote in there, and it changed the game for every nighttime routine I had with my daughter. And he wrote this, and he says his daughter was dealing with suicide and depression. And he wrote a quote that he said changed his life. And it says, if you're not able to bring the sunshine into my life, sit with me in the dark. I went into my daughter's room the next day, and I sat with her in the dark. And she fell asleep in 6 minutes. And that's what it's like every night ever since. So it's not the currency that I got from flipping these NFTs. It's that one dime that changed the potential relationship that I have with my daughter for the rest of my life. That's my currency, and that's the opportunity we have if you find the right community.
100%. Yeah, and the weirdos in the space, stop ignoring your kids on Twitter space. You don't know these people. Hang out with your kids, please. My goodness.
Let's get a round of applause for the speakers, the panelists, and